You slam the door to your bedroom, pacing back and forth as you replay the argument from earlier. It had started over something stupid, really stupid, but in the heat of the moment, you hadn't cared. Jungkook, you are so impossible sometimes. Your voice echoed through the penthouse as you stood in front of your husband, arms crossed, frustration evident in your expression. Jungkook barely looked up from his laptop, his fingers still typing away as if you weren't standing there fuming, and yet you're still here. He murmured in tone that was infuriatingly calm, that only made you angrier. You don't listen to me. Every time I bring something up, you just brush it off like it doesn't matter. He finally looked up, dark eyes locking onto yours. Because half the time you make a big deal out of nothing, like right now. Still, his voice was calm, and that was it. Excuse me, he scoffed, stepping closer. Did you just call my concerns nothing? Jungkook sighed, closing his laptop with a soft click. Wyan, you accused me of something completely ridiculous. Instead of talking to me, you jumped to conclusions, started a fight, and now you're mad because I won't argue back. You clenched your fists. I started the fight? Yes, he said simply, and I don't have time for this. Some of us actually work. Your jaw dropped. You stared at him, heart pounding, anger and disbelief swirling inside you. He had never dismissed you like that before. It wasn't just about the argument anymore, it was about the way he was treating you. You know what? Fine. You can have your peace, I'm leaving. Where are you going? Jungkook asked, sounding almost concerned. Somewhere far away from you. You threw over your shoulder before storming off. You didn't know where you were going, you just knew you couldn't stay here. He sighed, knowing you'll come back once your anger calms down. You had stormed out, fuming, slamming doors along the way for extra effect, but now sitting here, the rage had fizzled out, leaving only guilt behind because you knew you were wrong. You had misunderstood something earlier, jumped to conclusions again, and instead of talking, you had gone full dramatic mode. Great, now I have to go and apologize. As much as you loved annoying Jungkook, you knew he took things seriously. And if you didn't clear things up, he might actually think you were mad at him. So with a deep sigh, you grabbed your bag, checked your reflection because if you are apologizing, you might as well look stunning doing it, and made your way to Jungkook's office. The moment you stepped inside the sleek, towering building of John Enterprises, the atmosphere subtly shifted. Employees straightened up, eyes discreetly following you in curiosity. You didn't visit often, but when you did, it was usually for something important. The receptionist immediately noticed you and offered a polite, warm smile. Good morning, Mrs. John. You returned the smile effortlessly. A very good morning to you. Is Mr. Jungkook in his office? She nodded. Yes, ma'am. He just returned from a meeting. Should I inform him that you are here? You shook your head, a playful glint in your eyes. No need. I'll go to him myself. The receptionist smiled knowingly. All right, ma'am. Have a great day. Thank you. You said softly before walking past the front desk towards the private elevator that led to Jungkook's office. As you stepped into the elevator, you couldn't help but overhear a hushed conversation between a few employees near the lounge area. I think something happened. Mr. John was unusually tense this morning. He barely spoke a word after his meeting. Yeah, but I'm sure he'll be fine now. His wife is here. Employee 3 scoffed playfully. I never thought there would be any woman on earth who could match Mr. John's level, but damn, she has him wrapped around her little finger. Their chemistry is insane. We see the way he looks at her. That's the John Jungkook we are talking about, and he's completely gone for her. I swear I never thought I would live to see the day someone tamed him. You bit your lip to suppress a laugh. It was amusing how his employees saw Jungkook, this powerful, untouchable CEO, only to be effortlessly undone by you. With that thought lingering in your mind, the elevator door slid open to the top floor. Time to see what had him so tense and, of course, tease him just a little. When you arrived at Jungkook's office, you hesitated. The door was slightly open and you could hear voices inside. Jungkook's deep, aggravated voice and someone else's voice. Curiosity and okay, maybe a tiny bit of paranoia got the best of you. You peeked through the gap of the door and froze. There, right in the middle of the office, his secretary had their arms wrapped around Jungkook. Your cold, stoic husband stood stiffly, hands awkwardly at his sides as the secretary hugged him. Your heart clenched. Oh, you thought, a bitter realization settling in your chest. So this is why I have never been enough. You had worried about him being overworked, about your argument affecting his mood, but clearly he wasn't suffering at all. For a few seconds, you just stood there staring, then an idea sparked in your mind. Fine, if this is what he's up to, I might as well have some fun with it. You pushed the door open dramatically. Well, well. Both figures jumped. Jungkook turned first, his sharp eyes narrowing at you in exasperation. Ryan, but you weren't looking at him. Your gaze flickered to the person still latched onto him, and finally the secretary turned to face you. Mark turned lazily, flashing you his signature smug. Oh, hey Ryan. You folded your arms, tilting your head. Don't oh hey me. Your gaze flickered between them. I thought Mr. John would be upset about our argument, but it looks like I was worrying for nothing. Mark snickered. Oh come on, you know he can't function without me. Jungkook gave him a death glare. Mark. I mean, who else is going to keep him entertained? Mark added, smirking. Your eyes twitched. Jungkook dragged a hand down his face. For the love of... And that's when Mark winked at you. It took 1 second for your brain to finally process it. Mark, the man you had known for months, Jungkook's male secretary. You hadn't been jealous of another woman. You had been jealous of Mark. A slow smirk stretched across your lips. Now I know why I was never enough. Maybe you are into guys. Oh my god. Should I be worried? Jungkook's soul left his body. Mark lost it. He doubled over laughing. Oh my god. Jungkook glared at you. What the hell, Ryan? You know he's my secretary. You tapped your chin, and yet you let him play with your tie. Mark whistled. She has a point. Shut up. Jungkook hissed. Mark is like a younger brother to Jungkook, and even though he is his secretary, ever since Jungkook became CEO, he never leave a chance to annoy and tease Jungkook. You took a step closer, enjoying how tense Jungkook looked. So, how long has this been going on? Jungkook groaned. Ryan. Mark wiped fake tears. It's been years. We have tried to hide it, but love like this can't be denied. Oh, Jungkook had thrown a pen at his head. You are fired. You laughed, your earlier anger completely forgotten. This was so much better than just apologizing. You can't do that. You can't live without me. Okay, okay. You said, still grinning. I did come here to say sorry. Jungkook raised an eyebrow. You have a terrible way of apologizing. Mark waggled his brows. Honestly, I love it, Ryan. If you ever get tired of him, Jungkook shot him a deadly look. Don't finish that sentence. You smirked. Oh, I like him. I think I'll keep him. Mark gasped dramatically. Ah, true love. I suppose I'll just have to watch from the sidelines. Jungkook rolled his eyes. Mark, get out. Give us some space, Mark. Mark held up his hands in surrender, backing away towards the door. Alright, I won't be a third wheel anymore. You guys have your moment. As he left, he shot you a wink before closing the door behind him, and now it was just the two of you. Jungkook sighed, rubbing the back of his neck as he leaned against his desk. So, are you here to apologize? You walked towards him slowly, a teasing smile playing on your lips. I was. Jungkook raised an eyebrow. Was? But now I feel like I should punish you instead. You looked very comfortable in Mark's arms. Jungkook groaned. You know damn well that's not what happened. You hummed, pretending to think. I don't know, he was holding on to you pretty tightly and you didn't seem to push him away. Maybe I should be worried. Jungkook gave you a flat look. Why? You gasped dramatically. What if it's not a coincidence, but you're actually interested in boys? You narrowed your eyes while he gave you a are you serious look. Should I prove it to you right here? Your cheeks turned pink. You let out a laugh before finally stepping closer, standing between his legs as he leaned against his desk. His hands instinctively found your waist, fingers pressing into your sides, but his expression remained firm. What was the argument about again? You sighed, tracing small patterns on his chest. I overreacted, I know that, and I didn't mean to storm off like that last night. Jungkook's lips twitched slightly. You do have a habit of storming off. You narrowed your eyes playfully. Do you want an apology or not? He smirked. I'm just stating facts. You pouted. See, this is why Mark is always supporting me. He appreciates me. Jungkook's grip on your waist tightened. Mark is going to be unemployed if he doesn't stop. You giggled, wrapping your arms around his neck. Relax, Mr. John. You know I only have eyes for you. Jungkook exhaled, his fingers tracing small circles against your waist. Damn right you do. You leaned in, your lips just inches from his. So, am I forgiven? Jungkook tilted his head, his dark eyes glinting. I don't know. You did tease me a lot just now. You smirked. You love it. His jaw flexed as he studied you, his dark eyes filled with something unreadable. You think you can just waltz in here, tease me, and expect me to let you go without consequences? You tilted your head, your lips curving into a playful smile. Depends. What kind of consequences are we talking about? Jungkook let out a low chuckle before suddenly flipping the both of you, pinning you against his desk. His arms caged you in, pressing his body against yours. You are playing a dangerous game, Mrs. John. You swallowed hard, your pulse quickening at the close proximity. Am I? I thought I was just visiting my husband. Jungkook's lips brushed against your ear, his voice dropping to a whisper. Your husband is about to remind you why you should never test him. Just as he leaned in to claim your lips, a sudden knock on the door interrupted the moment. Jungkook groaned, resting his forehead against yours for a brief second before he straightened. Who the hell? The door cracked open slightly and a hesitant voice called out, I really don't want to be killed, but Mr. John, the board members are waiting for you in the conference room. Jungkook exhaled sharply, clearly irritated. He turned to you, his eyes narrowing. This isn't over. You grinned. I hope not. Later that afternoon, you sat in Jungkook's office, comfortably sprawled out on the couch while flipping through some documents from your own work. Jungkook had just wrapped up his meeting and was now seated at his desk, his suit jacket draped over his chest, sleeves rolled up to his elbows. You admired him for a moment. Your husband, the powerful Mr. John, was undeniably breathtaking. You were staring. You didn't even bother denying it. I have the right to admire my husband, don't I? Jungkook's lips twitched. That depends. What do I get in return? You set your papers aside and stretched. Lunch with me outside this office. Jungkook glanced at the time and sighed. I have back-to-back meetings. How about dinner instead? You pouted dramatically. You're always busy. Jungkook stood up, making his way towards you. He leaned down, caging you against the couch with his hands on either side of you. You married a busy man, sweetheart. You wrapped your arms around his neck, pulling him closer, and I plan on keeping him very well fed and stress-free. Jungkook chuckled, brushing his nose against yours. You already do, love. Just then his office phone rang, interrupting yet another moment. Jungkook muttered a curse under his breath before answering it. As he spoke, you watched him, knowing that no matter how cold he was to the world, you were the one who had melted his walls. You stood up, pressing a kiss to his cheek before whispering, I'll wait for dinner. Don't keep me waiting too long, Mr. John. Jungkook's gaze softened as he watched you walk out of his office. Mark, who had been standing outside, smirked at Jungkook. Damn, she really has you wrapped around her finger. Jungkook scoffed, though there was no real annoyance in his expression. Shut up, Mark. But deep down, he knew it was true.